I just got off the House floor. We just voted for the big, beautiful bill. I know there's been a lot of back and forth on this bill over the last, couple weeks, couple months, but we finally got it across the finish line. I want to acknowledge, before I start going through the list of some of the wins that we made for the American people, there are plenty of things in this bill I don't like, many Americans don't like, but I think overall it's a good bill because it's coupled with a very strong and strategic overall strategy from the administration. We obviously didn't get everything that we wanted. A lot of that had to do with members of our own party only being willing to give so much on different issues, but it also had to do with the Senate blocking and stripping out a lot of the good stuff that we sent over from the House product, and also the parliamentarian. Some of you that have been watching this closely know that the parliamentarian stripped out a lot of our good stuff as well. And so I don't want to focus this video as much on the things that we didn't like about it, but on the things that I think are really strong and really good for the American people. This bill delivers the largest tax cut in American history for middle class and working class Americans, period. I think that's going to be fantastic for you guys. I think it's going to be great for your pocketbooks, your bank accounts, and I think it's going to be great for the American economy. We've got no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on made in the USA auto loans. We've also got a permanent increase to the child tax credit in this bill, which supports over 40 million families. This bill also rescinds billions in the Green New Scam funding. Now, this was a very tough fight for us. We didn't get as much as we wanted, as I alluded to in my opening, but the president did commit to the House Freedom Caucus that he's going to do everything in his power to clean up everything that we weren't able to get rid of in this bill. And based on how I've seen the president act in the past, I know he campaigned on getting rid of this in its entirety, and he's the type of guy, if he makes a promise, he's going to do everything in his power to keep it. So I'm grateful to the president for that, and also the work we did in this bill for all these green new energy products that are harming the American grid. They're making energy less reliable, more costly, and it's also a national security issue when we continue to buy the supplies necessary from overseas, especially countries like China. So it also eliminates fraud, waste, and abuse in several government agencies. It's the biggest mandatory spending cut since 1997, okay? This is one of the areas that a lot of us conservatives had a tough time with. We wanted so much more than what we actually got. But in the terms of Washington and how pathetic this place is, it's pretty historic, the levels of cuts that we got in this bill in mandatory spending. Okay. This bill also deports at least 1 million illegal aliens a year. It makes the largest investment in border security in a generation, to the tune of about $150 billion to secure our border and deport illegal aliens, just as the president promised he would do, and just as those of us who were campaigning alongside him promised we would do. It also finishes phase 2 of the border wall. I know this has been a big issue for many of us for a very long time. It also funds the ability to hire 10,000 new ICE agents, 5,000 customs officers, and 3,000 Border Patrol agents. This bill also funds the Golden Dome missile defense system to confront 21st century threats to our country. It also delivers the largest Coast Guard upgrade since World War II, stopping fentanyl and the criminal cartels that have been raining chaos and death on our country for a very long time now. This bill also modernizes our military to ensure it has the resources it needs to be ready for any threat that we face around the world. It also ends Biden's war on American energy and drives down energy costs. This bill also unleashes domestic oil, gas, and nuclear power, restoring our energy dominance. So like I said, guys, this isn't an exhaustive list. I thought these were some of the most important elements of the bill that I wanted to relay to you. I also want to thank the president and his team for spending so much time with our members this week and just not only laying out his vision for this bill, but also laying out the reasons why we couldn't go further, the strategic reasons, the political reasons, and laying out his vision and plan for how do we clean up some of the rest of this stuff and when it's going to happen. I was very impressed just with their overall strategy and how much thought they put into this as I got more into the weeds and was able to ask my own questions of, top administration officials and even the president himself on this. So I want to acknowledge that this thing isn't perfect, but it is pretty damn historic, and it was not easy to get here. Again, I wish we could have gone farther on things, but most of us that wanted to push this as far as we could realized that especially if we sent it back over to the Senate, it was very likely to return in worse shape than we sent it back or than we have it in right now. And so that's one of the reasons, many reasons I voted for this bill. But I just wanted to make that video for you guys. I know I haven't been posting a ton on this. I wanted to make sure that we got it right in the messaging. It was a very dynamic situation, and so I kind of wanted to take a step back before relaying to you guys the final result. So God bless you guys. I think this is going to be great for our country, and I can't wait to return to Arizona. It's been a long couple days.